Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics that affects many people, and that is anxiety. A couple of months ago I created also a video around this topic, and it's called How to Control and How to Overcome Anxiety Disorder, and I think you will find it very useful. So I will leave the link in the description. But before we get started, I want you to like this video, to share with others, to subscribe, because this way I'll know that you will like this kind of videos and I will keep doing them. So, specifically today we're going to be talking about three major beliefs that Albert Ellis pointed sometime in his career, and he said that people often get anxious around these three irrational ideas. Without too much talking, let's get into each one of it. The first one is ego anxiety. It's tied to performance and ego, and it sounds like this: I must do well, I must be successful, I must be the next Tarantino, I must grow a successful YouTube channel, I must get the next promotion. And whatever your goal is, it can be in your personal life, it can be in your career, and I have to win and I must win others' approval. Otherwise it's bad, it's awful, I can't stand it, it seems like it's the end of the world. And emotions of anxiety and frustrations and fury and anger will come, and we will get into trouble. Sounds familiar, right? This thought hits home for a lot of people. And how we can break free from it? What is the natural way of thinking? Well, I think it sounds like that. I'll do my best and I will do everything that I can. I'll put all my efforts into doing and into getting what I want. But if I don't, it's not the end of the world. It's not something that is catastrophic. So, if you tied up your self-worth to the performance and the success, well, you will find a hard time ahead. If you observe the objectives in your lives come and go, this year you'll have an objective, the next year maybe you'll end up having another objective, but you can end up having successful ones, not so successful ones, but what's most important is the vision. You have to enter in that a state of abundance, a state of relaxation, and a state of love, of positiveness, in such a way in which you can work and to accomplish your goals. So if you noticed, sometimes when you put all your efforts and all your struggles, even so you cannot accomplish what you want, because you cannot control everything in life. You will do everything that you can, that is in your power, in your strength, but many times, even if we don't make everything that we can aligns with what we want, and it's pretty good. So it's not always in our control. Having to win others' approval, this is very big. It was very big for me. It's very hard, because some people will acknowledge your success, others won't acknowledge even if you are successful. So it's you cannot satisfy everyone. Failure is inevitable. People go their ways. It's not important what's important for you. They have their own lives. So yes, maybe if you are a competitive person and this will get you into trouble, you will try to compete with your friends to see who is the most successful one, who is making more money. And I was in this trap for many years, but I realized that everyone has its own life. So it doesn't matter this. You don't have to prove anything to people. This was very big for me, and at this point in my career, I realized that nothing is more important than my own family, my life, my personal life. If you can say something like that, you are valuable as a person because you are a human, you are alive, and you are valuable. But then If you're thinking like that, someone might say, so what? So what if you are alive and you are kicking? You are the shit. You're a bad person. So the point that Albert Ellis said something like this: you are not okay, and you are not okay because you are alive. You are here on this planet, living this life, and the most important question is this: what should I do to enjoy myself, to make the most out of my life? This is the most important part. Not that I am valuable if I have success, I'm not valuable if I don't, if I fail. Fail is inevitable, criticism from others is also inevitable. So, this is what you have to do your best, but this part, to do your best and to put all your efforts into accomplishing your goals, this is very important. You really have to put all your efforts, as long as you keep your health and you still can take care of your family and care ones. The second must that Albert Ellis pointed is something like that: people, friends, colleagues, everyone, someone escalates, some people escalate that into everyone, which makes it much more worse. And they say something like that: people have to treat me fairly, have to be respectful, have to treat me well, kindly, or otherwise people are bad. I can't stand them. They're bad person. How can they treat me so unfairly? The world will come to an end, and I end up in pain and suffering. And this thought is also familiar for many people, because it affects the relationships that we have with others, with our peers. And of course, we do our best to maintain a healthy relationships with our friends, with our people in our lives, but sometimes the world doesn't work like that. People must treat us disrespectful, but how do you shift into a healthy thinking? You can accept the people, but you cannot accept their behaviors. And you can say, even if I treat a friend with respect and admiration, and I often call it to hang around, to go for a cup of coffee, and I'm the only one who makes the first move. So what? This doesn't mean that your friend, you don't have to feel inferior. It doesn't mean that means that your friend is treats you with disrespect. So let's dive into an example, because many years ago I was upset because I was the only one who call out friends, call this friend and hang around. Hey, you want to drink a beer? You want to hang out for a cup of coffee this morning? And he never returned the calls. He never called me. He never took the initiative to call me and to invite me somewhere. And I was very upset. It affected me. I said, man, I am the only one. I can't stand it. I will not do this anymore. I will not hang around with him anymore. And what have I done? Well, someday I took the phone and I said, man, I'm the only one who calls you. I feel like I bother you. So please tell me what's going on. And he tells me, man, this is the way I'm used to it. I'm used that you are the only one who calls. But if you see, I never refuse you. I always like to spend time with you and to go out with our wives and so on, and with our families. And this was a thought that I have did not consider. I said, yes. And he's like an introvert. He doesn't like, and it's not comfortable in calling people and invite them for a cup of coffee or something like that. Yes, sometimes it's not the way we imagined, it's not the way we think. Yes, sure. So people are not always bad. Of course, there are bad behaviors, and because with the lack of love, some people are so they are bad because they try to fulfill something, and if they cannot with positive feelings, then they will recall negative ones, and they try to obtain attention in a negative way. Okay, so this thought was contributing to my anxiety in a very negative way. So let's move on to the third thought, and this is very big for many people, hits home for many people, and it sounds like this: life must be easy on me. I should have a successful life. I should have an easy life. I should obtain in life exactly what I want, and life must treat me kindly, and it must be easy. Otherwise, and certain and bad things should not happen to me. Only good things. Life must be beautiful, must be easy. Otherwise, I can't stand it. I can. It's a catastrophic life, and I can stand it. It has to be like this. It has to go my way. As you probably think, life is unpredictable. It's full of surprises, and we have to maintain a balance. But even so, with all these efforts, life can be unpredictable and bad things can happen. But we do our best. We do our best not to have a hard life, and we have to control, but we have to accept also the fact that life is unpredictable for such a doll like me. Okay? So, guys, as you know, my English is not that good, and but I think you got the message behind all this. And whenever you have a must, try to convert it into a preference and try to do all you can in order to have control, in order to be positive, in order to have a successful career, in order to have a positive life, in order to have healthy relationships with your peers. But even so, things can go wrong, and try not to tie your self-worth, and try not to connect your self-worth with your success and with your objectives and with your relationships with others and with your life, because you will get into trouble. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can search in YouTube for Dr. Albert Ellis, who was the father of Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, and you will have your anxiety diminished. Believe me. So, thank you so much. Have a great day ahead, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.